Green Bay Blue Ribbons baseball is on the air from Joannes Park in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's opening day, and today, game one of a doubleheader between the Green Bay Blue Ribbons and the Milwaukee Beavers. Good afternoon, everybody. Alongside the voice of Lakeland University, Sam Marchant, it's Don D'Angelo reporting. Let's get right to the starting lineups before first pitch here from Joannes Park. Beginning with the visitors, the Milwaukee Blue Ribbons. Leading off, playing right field, number 28, Zach Schneider. Out in center, number 21, Carlos Walta. The shortstop batting third, number 25, Brady Schmidt. On the mound doing the pitching and batting cleanup today, Joel Bernard. Playing third base, number 22, Justin Barkhurst. Doing the catching is number 5, T.J. Charnowski. The second baseman, number 4, Jelani Hundo, will bat fourth. Wearing number 4, will bat seventh. The first baseman, Jerome Pawlicki, will wear number 20 and bat eighth. And rounding it out, the left fielder, number 8, Derek Hall. Those are the Beavers. Here are the Blue Ribbons. Leading off and playing center is number 9, Easton Art. Batting second, the third baseman, Jake Patasek. Wearing number 1, batting third, the center fielder, Braden Plow. The cleanup man is the second baseman, number 5, Eason Hurt. Dawson Schmidt, wearing number 24, will be in right field. The designated hitter for the Blue Ribbons today is number 20, Boone Kirst. James Bornick will play first, wearing number 7. He will bat seventh. Braden Steinbecker will be handling the shortstop position, wearing number 30. And Tyler Fitzgerald, a substitute catcher, because some of the Blue Ribbons players are not fully reported at this point, will be doing the catching. And on the mound for the Blue Ribbons today will be number 29, Benji Hank. We are all set for baseball this afternoon. Glad you're with us from Joannes Park. Count even at 101. Sam, it's been a heck of a day for the two of us so far.
That's just the way it's been. I mean, Thursday, scrimmage day, we're getting up here and get a little audio. Had the audio, couldn't get the camera working. Now we've got the camera working. A little bit of struggles on the audio and the graphics, but just happy to be here. Excited for opening day. A huge amount of fans already here in the stands for some non-league play, and Blue Ribbons are ready to get things going.
Zach Schneider is the batter. He's got a 2-2 count to work with. Right-handed batter. Inside for a ball. Count runs full at 3-2. The Beavers are in their all-white uniforms with red numbering and lettering. Here's a 3-2. And a called strike 3. Schneider goes down looking. There's one away. Blue Ribbons in their navy blue tops, white pants, white lettering and numbers. Already one away. Here's Carlos Walta, the center fielder. In for a strike.
Walta out of Wisconsin Lutheran High School. Goes to Martin Luther, first team all-conference in 2021 for the Woodlands.
That one fouled out of play. We've got a doubleheader to open things up, so the way that we'll manage this is I'll be on play-by-play responsibilities for Game 1. Sam will handle Game 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. On a beautiful sunshiny afternoon on the east side of Green Bay. Not a cloud in the sky.
It's exactly where you want to be.
Ground ball, first base side. That's going to get through for base hit. Walta is aboard with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Brady Schmidt.
Chops it through the right side, does just enough, and has struggled a little bit with Martin Luther this past season, but the batting average dipped a little bit. That's a good piece of hitting there going with that pitch.
That one fouled off out of play. I'm going to get ahead of the curve on this. We do not yet, but we will have graphics for the video watchers out there. They are coming. We're still in the developmental stage. Nice pick by Fitzgerald behind the dish.
Fitzgerald's been a good addition to this ball club. I mean, I know he's on the temp status and things like that, but has done a really good job. Got to see him in the scrimmage the other day and did great work behind the plate, keeping that ball in front, hosing down a couple runners. Like to see the work from the young kid.
2-1 on the shortstop Schmidt, another right-handed batter, so that we've alternated right, left, right through the first three batters for the Beavers. That one grounded foul off to the left side. And I will mention his name throughout the course of the game today, but a sincere thank you to Chris Lehrman for his support and guidance through getting some of the equipment issues figured out this morning. That one low and away for a ball, 3-2 the count. Chris, if you're watching, even if you're not, I'll send you this clip. Love you, brother. Appreciate all of your help this morning.
Best part about the media world is it's super small, super tight, and a lot of people really willing to help out wherever help is needed. So cannot thank that enough.
It's a fun industry. That was ball 4, pitched to Schmidt. There are 2 on with 1 away in the top of the first. And that will bring up Joel Brunert, batting cleanup today. Pitch taken for a ball. That was a comment, even though we weren't maybe on the air at this point, but on Thursday you said you wanted to see a little bit steadier control from some of these Ribbons pitchers. That one popped up foul out of play.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Alstein, Tanner Alstein, the manager of the Blue Ribbons, taking over this year, he said that was a big thing in the pregame interview of just making sure that the pitchers have a little bit more command and getting them adjusted back into the swing of things here.
That's a base hit into center. They are going to send home Walta. Here comes the throw. It's offline. A run comes in to score, and the runners will look to advance to second and third. So we'll give him credit for an RBI single, and then advancing to second on the throw is Bernert. It's now 1-0 Beavers with still only 1 away in the top of the first.
And Henke did a good job getting there back up at 4, but then just kind of got caught watching the play instead of actually getting to where he needed to be.
Pitch low and away for a ball. Justin Barkhurst now the batter, playing third base, another right-handed batter. He lines that one foul down the right field line.
Barkhurst, also the manager of this Beavers squad. Yeah, the manager in the lineup, and then over at coaching third base is the assistant manager, Rob Cook, and he'll also opportunity to come out here. He's on the lineup card as well. So just 12 guys, and yeah, you don't see that heck of a lot at all.
Here's the 1-2. Ball gets away from Fitzgerald, but runners will hold. Count even at 2-2. That's an interesting thing that you're still maybe having some kids who haven't gotten back from schooling yet. There are a lot of college kids out here, and that's something that just talking to upper management at the Blue Ribbons, they wanted to get as many games played early in the season before some of those kids have to go back to school. Here's the 2-2.
Yeah, a lot of inning limits and different things happen as a play comes 4 here and just overshoots it by a mile.
So that's going to be an error. A run will come in to score on Petizek, the third baseman. It is now 2-0. Safe at first is Barkhurst, and that'll bring up TJ Tarnowski. And we are going to have a mound visit. Runners at the corners.
Yeah, and it's the right idea. He had plenty of time, just kind of start sailing with a throw up the line and got into a position where he wasn't going to be able to make that throw sailed away from him, kept tailing right, and obviously going back to what we were talking about with the kids going to college, being college players. You have a lot of guys that are graduating seniors who still are involved in playing with their ball clubs in high school as regionals start this coming Tuesday. So a lot of kids aren't available yet. And then also in college, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. UW Milwaukee just went out and beat Auburn in the opening round of the regional there and put the NCAA baseball world on shock. I think that's something that's super exciting, especially for the state of Wisconsin and the D1 program there. But, having the opportunity to get these guys out here is going to be crucial, but there's a lot of development that happens there, and obviously you want to get the games early, but then you're at a disadvantage on both ends of the spectrum.
Tarnowski standing in the batter's box, the big right-hander. Has an 0-1 count. Low for a ball. And now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. He is going to be safe at second base, and the runner will come home and score from third. It is now 3-0, Milwaukee. Some good base running being put on display from the Beavers so far.
Yeah, and I know the Blue Ribbons and really everybody in this organization, not a whole lot of scout on what the Beavers are going to bring today, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but so far Blue Ribbons have played uncharacteristic baseball. Just knowing these guys, knowing the way that they play baseball, this is I'm sure not what Coach Alstein expected. It's also first opening day nerves, a little bit of all the things. Just had one scrimmage, played 5 or 6 innings on Thursday, so haven't played a whole ton, especially for some of these guys who their season ended 2-3 weeks ago.
Big swing and a miss from the second baseman, Jelani Houdnall, now batting. We also missed a strike somewhere in there as Tarnowski went down swinging, so there are 2 down. Man at second. That one fouled. May have hit Houdnall in the leg. Did I just hear that?
Oh yeah, something that's super popular in the Northwoods League is the beer batter. So it's a specific guy every inning. If he strikes out, some free beer or half price beer, one of the things. So something that the Blue Ribbons, I can imagine, are bringing into summer baseball this summer, and probably have in the past, especially being here in Wisconsin.
2-2 count of Houdnall. And a swing and a miss. Houdnall goes down swinging. That retires a side. But a big first inning of the season for the Beavers. 3 runs come to touch home plate after a half. It's Milwaukee 3. The Beavers coming to bat. We will be right back in just a moment. We welcome you back for the bottom of the first inning. It is already 3-0 Milwaukee after a big first inning, aided by an error from the Blue Ribbons. On the mound today, the big left-hander, Joel Bergnard for the Beavers, left-handed pitcher. Sam, if you were facing a left-handed pitcher, what would your approach be?
I think everybody, in most scenarios, you're quote-unquote at a disadvantage when you're facing a lefty, but if I showed my coach this clip, I think she'd probably laugh, but this spring, I guess, I really excelled against the lefties, and I think it's a lot of your mindset and your approach. The baseball's coming at a different angle, but I think if you just see it out of the hand right away and just build your confidence from that, especially a lefty on lefty, you're more in an advantage situation here for Arndt, but I think if you just see it out of the hand right away, you're in a good position to succeed.
Easton Arndt playing center field will lead it off for Green Bay, lefty against lefty. And they're going to say that hit him.
And on the shoulder, I think it just got right over the top of the Evo Shield guard, but Arndt a speedster when he's up there.
So a leadoff hit by pitch for Easton Arndt. That will bring up the third baseman, Jake Potasic, who I'm sure at this plate appearance would be looking to make up for maybe that costly error at the top of the inning.
Yeah, and the big thing is try not to do too much when you make an error like that in your at bat. Just going up there, providing a quality at bat, being able to get on, maybe move Arndt over, whatever your coach is asking of you.
Takes the first pitch outside. Another left-handed batter is Potasic. Heavy crouch to his stance. Fastball misses. And here's the 2-0. Runner goes. Pitch taken up high for a ball. Thrown to second. He is safe at second base.
That's quality, and you can only imagine Potasic has taken all the way here. Nobody's seen a strike so far from Grunert, and Arndt on second base. You want to get as many base runners on as you can, especially in a situation where you're down 3-0 out of the first.
The 3-0. Outside ball 4. So we talked about Henke having some control and command issues in the top half of the inning, and now Brunert's facing similar fate here in the bottom.
Yeah, I think strike zone is definitely favoring the hitters, and that's something that you love to see if you're the Blue Ribbons on offense, but then you come out here and obviously Henke having to struggle himself, but it's good to see that it goes both ways and also put you in a position where you know you can look for your pitch and go up there and drive it.
Fastball to Braden Plow is taken for a strike.
I think we talked the strike into existence right there.
Yeah. After a few misses in a row. Brunert looking to settle back in here. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball to right. It's drifting foul out of play.
That's absolutely the right idea there for Plow. Trying to go right side, drop one down the line maybe, or just even in the right field gap. It's going to score at least a run for sure. You got speed 1 and 2 in Arndt and Potasic.
0-2 pitch upstairs for ball 1. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. 3-0 Milwaukee. You're just joining us. They had a big half of their inning. 1-2 is popped up foul. Opening day at Joannes Park on the east side of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and a beautiful and a cooler day this afternoon in the mid-60s. Perfect baseball weather. 1-2 pitch to Plow. High fly ball and drifting into foul territory and out of play.
A super long run, and honestly, almost getting over there was Jerome Pollock, but just shades on the other side down by the Blue Ribbons tent in right field.
So Plow will have another chance at it. Fouled away a couple of pitches.
Hasn't gotten too much inside. Would be interesting to see if Grunert tries to go inside and Plow just takes it.
Ground ball back up the middle. Hoodnall will tag the runner for one. Turn to first in time. Double play. Nice play from the second baseman, Jelani Hoodnall. Runner will advance down to third. There are two away, and that'll bring up Eason Hurd.
Watching the on-field work early for the Beavers, you had, just the 9 guys out there, a couple of hitting, ground balls, and there was not a lot of glove-to-ball contact. They were making a lot of errors. They were spoiling everything. But so far, just making the play that they need to, and Hoodnall cuts down a couple of runners.
Fastball just misses outside. Count even at 1-1. Hurd, another right-handed batter. Lifts this one into left center. Going back is Walta, and he makes the catch to end the inning. A loud out for Eason Hurd. No runs for the Blue Ribbons. We go to inning number 2. It's the Beavers 3 and the Blue Ribbons nothing on the Blue Ribbons Media Network.
Fans can follow the Green Bay Blue Ribbons all season long on social media. Just search keywords Blue Ribbons Baseball on all of your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can also visit the official team website, BlueRibbonsBaseball.com, for the latest team news, ticket information, roster, and our online apparel store. That's BlueRibbonsBaseball.com, hashtag BlueRibbonsBaseball on social media. Leading off Milwaukee, first baseman number 20, Jerome Pollock.
Jerome Pollock will lead off the top of inning number 2. 3-0 Beavers on opening day, game 1 of this doubleheader between Green Bay and Milwaukee. And he lines that one back foul out of play. Benji Henke back on the mound for his second inning of work. In that first inning, gave up 3 runs on 2 hits. There was an error that contributed to that. There's a ground ball, third base side, taken by Potasic. Flip to first is in time for out number 1.
Potasic settles down and makes a good play over at third base.
So with 1 down, that'll bring up Derek Hall, the left fielder, another right-handed batter. To face Henke, breaking pitch inside for a ball. Here's the 1-0, upstairs ball 2. Swing and a miss at strike 1. Also got a red top and a black bottom to his bat. Takes inside for a called strike 2. Hickey looking for a quick second out, 2-2. Ground ball. Once again, will be taken by Patazik. Running throw to first. Got to be picked, and it is nicely by James Bornick over at first base. That's out number 2. The lineup turns over. Zach Schneider will have his second plate appearance.
Yeah, tough play, and Potasic just made that look easy that time, especially you got on the receiving end. Bornick just scooping it up where you need to, and when you got a first baseman over there that you can trust, you can just shove it across the infield.
Schneider takes ball 1. He struck out looking his first time up in the first. Takes a called strike 1 on the outside edge. That one bouncing in the dirt. Henke working quickly this inning. Likes his rhythm, likes his flow that he's got going. He's got 2 straight ground balls to the left side of the infield. Here's a 2-1. Called strike 2. No one on, 2 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Easy play for Herb. He bobbles it. He spins. He throws. Not in time.
Just ate him up at second base. Kind of allowed it to travel a little bit too far in front of him instead of meeting that baseball where it needed to be. And I think he thought he had more time than he did. Realized maybe that Schneider was kind of faster than he expected, and tried to scoop and turn, and by that time had himself spun around.
And the ball gets away from Fitzgerald. Schneider will take second base. So back-to-back miscues from Green Bay. Now has a man in scoring position, and Carlos Walta at the dish already has a single and a run scored in this game. Walter, the left-handed, tall left-handed batter, fouls that one out of play, counting even at 1-1.
A lot of Milwaukee area kids here on this roster. Schneider out of Random Lake High School. Walt's a Wisconsin Lutheran kid.
1-1 was inside ball 2.
So you'll find it on a lot of these summer baseball teams is the guys are right from the area. It's not like the Northwoods League and even Dairyland Collegiate League where you're pulling from all over the state, all over the country, really. Just anybody getting a lot of applications of kids who want to be super involved. Whereas instead you get Blue Ribbons, you got a lot of local guys within an hour, maybe 2 hours is a max of what you're going to get.
Inside ball 4. Walta draws a walk. There are 2 aboard, and the batter will be Brady Schmidt. It sounds so cliche, but how many times can an error come back to bite you in a big way when you commit them?
Oh, yeah.
Hearn's going to have a second chance, and he makes this play 1 pitch, 1 out to retire the side. So, no damage done. The Beavers stranded pair. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. It's still 3-0 Milwaukee on the Blue Ribbons Media Network. Welcome back to Joannes Park. We are in the bottom of the second inning. Leading it off for Green Bay will be Dawson Schmidt. Playing right field today. Schmidt from St. Cloud State. Getting his first plate appearance of the season. Takes a called strike one. Joel Burnett back on the mound for his second inning of work. Pretty good first inning. No runs, no hits. Left a man stranded. Swinging strike two. Had some control issues early. Hit the first batter he faced, then walked Patazik, the second man he faced. That one's upstairs for a ball, but settled in nicely. Got a big double play ball to get out of that jam.
Yeah, has the experience, and I think that's helped Greenert a lot in terms of just being able to lead this team.
That one just out of the reach of Schneider in foul territory.
There are 23 on the Beavers roster in 2026, just 12 of them here today to face your Blue Ribbons, but obviously not everybody from the Blue Ribbons here as well, so I can only imagine that that's the adjustment period that it takes for, a lot of these college summer baseball teams.
Here's a 1-2. Another one line foul out of play.
Schmidt played his first season here at St. Cloud State this last spring, is a junior. In 2025 with St. Norbert, batted near 400, 38 RBIs, 2 home runs.
Ground ball
really good
back
bat.
up the middle. Schmidt grounds out to Schmidt for out number one. That is Brady Schmidt playing shortstop for Milwaukee. Dawson Schmidt is retired, and that'll bring up Boone Kurst, the designated hitter today. Milwaukee electing, due to their short roster, to not go with a DH, so that's why Brunert was batting cleanup in their lineup. And now he's on the mound pitching. Ground ball, third base side foul. Kurst, a tall right-handed batter from Winona State.
Caught for the red team in their scrimmage on Thursday.
Takes a breaking ball downstairs for a ball. Not a whole lot of wind to affect a ball maybe carrying out towards right field. Just misses upstairs for a ball. 2-1.
Yeah, it is pretty dead in terms of wind coming out of here. I mean, you can see the flag out in center. It's blowing a little bit left to right, but there's not a whole lot of movement. Even the trees up here towards us, there's not a lot going on.
The 3-1 pitch is upstairs for a ball. Kurst draws a walk. So 1 on, 1 down, and that will bring up James Bornick, who's got a fun walk-up song. What's your walk-up song, Sam?
It is "Welcome to the Show" by Cody Johnson.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's a fun one. I really enjoy it. One thing about me is I get really, really anxious, excited to go hit, and if I have a super hype, fun walk-up song, it doesn't help me just kind of like come to the zone where I need to be. So I go for some country vibes. Huge country fan regardless, but going for the country vibe, just calm things down.
That last pitch was taken for a strike. I used to be an ABC guy, anything but country, but the last couple years I've really come around to it.
Okay.
Now.
Is there oh, nice ball.
That one's hit into right. Schneider can't make the catch. Kurst is on his way to third, and Bornick will have a stand-up double.
Bornick.
Piece of hitting lefty-lefty from Bornick to put 2 in scoring position, and that will bring up Braden Steinbecker.
Yeah, he hit that on the line, had 33 doubles in his career at Marion, graduate student now, and That's exactly where you want it to be. Good piece of hitting in the 7th spot for Bornick. Try to get something going here for the Blue Ribbons. So is there a specific artist or someone that put you on to liking country, or what brought you around?
I don't know if there was anyone in particular, but I like it. See, I'm not like in the newer age of music, so some of the older legendary folks, Johnny Cash being amongst them.
Okay, I can get behind some Johnny Cash.
Outside for a Ball, John Denver is a personal favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, some of these I'm not sure if you would consider all of them country.
That's okay. It's the style that I can get behind that.
I like some of Chris Stapleton's stuff.
Great voice from Chris Stapleton.
One lifted to right, Schneider battling the sun, and he makes the catch. Tagging from third, heading home is Kirst. It'll be a sac fly for Steinbecker, and the first run of the season comes across the home plate for Green Bay. Advancing to third was Bornick. There are 2 down, and the batter will be Tyler Fitzgerald. Pitch taken for a strike. Sam, this is a unique situation. He's getting a chance here for this Green Bay club. Maybe not as accustomed to the rest of the ball club as some other members are. So he takes a called strike 2. What would your approach be on a day like today?
I think it's just having fun. The summer ball is all about having fun. There's so many opportunities, and especially if you're a guy like this, like somebody's giving you an opportunity, you just go out there, have fun, and just keep it loose.
He swings and misses at strike 3, and that ends the inning. But a run comes home to score. It's Milwaukee 3, Green Bay 1. We've played 2 full innings on the Blue Ribbons Media Network.
Fans be sure to show up at Blue Ribbons product all season long by visiting our new online apparel store. There's something for everyone. The store offers a wide variety of men's, women's, and kids' clothing, along with accessories like pillows, glassware, and towels. Get your official Blue Ribbons apparel today by visiting BlueRibbonsBaseball.com, the official website of your Green Bay Blue Ribbons.
We welcome you back. Top of inning number 3. A quick turnaround for Joel Brunert, who is pitching for Milwaukee today and is now in the batter's box. Facing Benji Henke. Takes first pitch for a strike.
Personally, I'm a huge fan of pitchers hitting. I absolutely love it. I think that in the MLB, taking out the pitcher hitting and putting in a DH role, whatever it may be, like I I don't know. I think there's just a different level that you get when you have pitchers who hit.
So you're not a huge fan of the universal DH?
No. I think it makes things interesting. Like, but also I'm a Brewers fan, and Brandon Woodruff, he hit that huge bomb. Like, pitchers who rake, that's something I can get behind.
3-1 the count to Brunert. Henke looking to face his counterpart, and that one hit him inside. So it's a leadoff hit by pitch. You think there was some strategy there? Maybe just keep giving him a bruise before he has to go back out on the mound?
I mean, maybe. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but not. I mean, you gotta make him earn it. Earn it on a 3-1 count and going inside, hit him. Like, not worst case scenario, but not ideal either to put the leadoff man on.
Justin Barkhorse will be the batter. He reached on an error his last time up, fouls that one out of play. That was back in that first inning where 3 runs came home to score for Milwaukee. That one just misses downstairs. Count even at 1-1. Inside for a ball. Going back to the universal DH thing, there certainly have been an uptick in runs scored since that's been implemented, but you like an old-fashioned pitcher's duel.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think obviously it's a lot better for the pitchers. I do see the concept behind it. You don't have to worry about hitting. You don't have to worry about extra opportunities for injuries, all these different things. So I'm not opposed to really having it, but I just think it adds another element to the game of baseball that makes baseball a lot more fun.
Barkhorse goes down swinging. There's one away. And that'll bring up TJ Tarnowski, the catcher, who also went down swinging his first time up. TJ, the backstop for the Beavers this afternoon. Ball gets away from Fitzgerald, and Brunert is going to scamper down to second.
It's definitely tough being in the situation where you don't really know your pitcher, but and I know Fitzgerald, the guy that's just looking for an opportunity, coming in here to temp guy, you love it for him, and super excited, but just keeping that ball in front is huge.
Steinbecker's going to go to third, and the ball was bobbled by Patazik. So Brunert will be safe at third base. Tarnowski's safe at first. There are runners at the corners. And that'll bring up Jelani Hudnall.
Hudnall, the beer batter for today. He struck out back in the first inning. Got half buy one get one half off for the fans here at the Joe. Something that you're interested in, come on out to the Joe.
Hudnall takes down low for ball one. Good-sized crowd here this afternoon. We'll try to get a second camera to pan over to them at some point, as that's down low for ball two. Opening day, especially on a day like today when it's not super hot yet. Down low 3-0. Always a big day, no matter what league it is. It could be Little League, it could be grade school, high school. Pitch taken for a strike. Or opening day in the Wisconsin State League like we have today.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more than what we got here in Green Bay today.
3-1. That one lined and fouled out of play. Count runs full 3-2. If you're Henke, what's on your mind here, Sam?
I think you're going chase pitch, trying to throw something down and away, get him to go after it, and then maybe pull the trigger, go up in and on the hands, after that. But, it's tough because you have 3-2 count, but I think that he's, looking to get a hit. I don't think he's looking to take ball 4. That's not what's happening, especially in the situation where you're the beer batter. It's pretty self-aware to everybody. You can hear it, and you just want to put a ball in play.
The 3-2 is down low, ball 4.
Got the breaking ball, but just missed the zone, down and away.
That will load the bases, and that will bring up Jerome Pollock.
Ribbons, no stranger to working through some traffic. Good pick there from Fitzgerald.
Yep, nice.
That's tough. That's tough. It's tough to be in. That's just natural reaction. You have no time to get over there, and that's a really good spot.
A few times, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not ideal. Not ideal.
Count now 2-0. If you're Tanner Olstein, how long would you let Hanky ride this one before you get someone going in the bullpen?
I think you let it go. I think maybe you have a guy start stretching and things of that nature, but I'm not really super worried. Your offense just put up a run. You know that they're going to score runs, and Hanky and this defense is going to go through it and going to work through it. I think maybe if it was now 4th or 5th inning, you change your mind a little bit, but in the top of the 3rd here, I think you want him to go at least 4.
Count even at 2-2. And inside for ball 3, another full count. And nowhere to put Pollock. Payoff pitch. That one hit into center, coming in as Arndt. He lost his footing. The ball drops, a run will come in to score. Throw it to third is going to be in time. And that will be out number 2. So coming in to score on the play was Brunert, and out at third base was Tarnowski. Runners at first and second, and that will bring up Derek Hall. RBI single for Pollock. One-0 pitch misses upstairs, ball 2. I suppose the other thing that you have to think about with your bullpen managing is there's a whole nother game after this one, so you don't want to get as much out of your starter as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're in this situation where you have 2 games, it's a lot different situation than if you have one, and especially early on in the season, you don't have your full staff here. So you have a couple of guys who just pitched Thursday, and obviously it's been a couple of days since then, but it's not the fastest turnaround time, and there's a lot that goes into it when you're working baseball arms versus softball arms. Softball, you put a pitcher out there, you just say go shove for as long as you can, and she'll do whatever it needs to. You can have a righty, come out here and throw both games of a doubleheader, but in baseball, obviously the wear and tear on the shoulder just from, the same motion over and over again, overhand, it's going to weigh down on you.
1 run for the Beavers. They leave a pair stranded after 2.5 innings. It's the Beavers 4 and Green Bay 1 on the Blue Ribbons Media Network. Bottom of inning number 3. The lineup turns over for Green Bay. Easton Arndt will lead it off. Arndt was hit by the first pitch that he saw and was left stranded at third base back in the first inning. The left-handed batter takes a call and strike 1. Second pitch taken for a called strike 2. When you're batting, are you a big choke up on the bat approach in a 2-strike count?
Yeah, I'll always choke up 2 strikes. And honestly, if I'm struggling, base hit in the right field here for Arndt.
He's going to turn and dig for 2, and he will be in safely. A stand-up double for Easton Arndt. Good way to start it for Green Bay.
Yeah, he's got the speed to back that up, and I thought maybe the way he was hustling out of the box, he would stretch it for 2, but I didn't know, and I think slow getting over there. Arndt pushes for 2, and it's a really good start for the Ribbons. Going back to it, yeah, I choke up pretty much every single time. I'm choking up right away from the get-go, and then in a 2-strike count, my approach is really just to slap it, puts them in play, and give my team a chance. That's the main get-go.
Jake Potazik will be the batter. He drew a walk his last time up. Man in scoring position. No one out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch taken for a strike. It's a good fastball from Brunert that we've seen so far this afternoon.
Yeah, he can hum, and it's really located the baseball well. Obviously had the struggles early on, going 5 straight balls, but then since then he has done a lot of work.
Potazik's going to lay down a bunt. They will get him at first. Runner moves to 3rd. So a good play on the sacrifice for Potazik. There is 1 down, and that brings up Braden Plow.
And Grunert came charging off the mound, made a really good play. It was coming to his hand side, which is not the easiest when you're pitching. You have to get off the mound and run over that way, but a really good bunt from Potazik and even better play from Grunert to get that out.
This is a big RBI chance for Braden as he pops this one into foul territory. First base side and out of play.
I know we've said it before, but there are a lot of fans here in the stands on this right side for the Blue Ribbons.
That one lifted to center, playable. And Walta will have it for out number 2. Tagging and scoring from 3rd is Easton Arndt. And that makes it a 4-2 ball game.
Just chipping away, that's the big thing. Not trying to put too much pressure on yourselves, right? You give up a big 3-run spot in that first inning, and it's like, okay, we have to score 3 right away, and then you don't score any. But, I mean, the Blue Ribbons have done a good job slowing things down, settling in, getting themselves in a position now where they brought it to within 2.
Eason Hurd steps into the batter's box, takes a call, strike 1. Flew out to center his last time up as that breaking pitch misses. Good situational hitting from Green Bay in this inning. What's the key to being a good situational hitter, do you think?
I think just knowing what you need to do with the baseball, that's the big thing. I think a piece just came out of his bat, and that's going to be chalked up to need a new one, so we'll get a little bit of a break here. Yeah, it's just knowing the situation, knowing what you need to do. I think baseball IQ is something that is severely overlooked. People talk about talent and, you got to hit the baseball and all the things, but just knowing what your team needs in each situation is huge. If you try to go and pull a ball in that situation, obviously you're going to hold up your runner at third base and not necessarily score. So putting the ball in the outfield, that's what you got to do, and that's what you know, and you got a fast runner on third. All you got to do is put something up in the air, and he'll score.
Yeah, baseball can be one of the most mentally challenging sports as there's a ground ball to Schmidt at short, fires to first in time to end the inning. But the Ribbons get 1 after 3 full innings of play. It's Milwaukee 4 and Green Bay 2 on the Green Bay Blue Ribbons Media Network. Top of the fourth, and that is going to be caught by Easton Arndt in center field off the bat of Zach Schneider. There's one away. New pitcher on the mound for Green Bay is Isaac Verbruggen. So only 3 innings of work for Benji Henke this afternoon in game 1.
I kind of like the call from Coach Alstein. It's you don't want to overdo your guy in the first appearance, excuse me, and also get everybody a little bit of action, trying to figure out what they're used to and how they operate. Getting Verbruggen in here, sophomore out of Carroll, and see what he does.
That's hit into left field, and Plow will have it for out number 2. Walta is retired. There's quickly 2 down, so good efficient work here from Verbruggen. That'll bring up Brady Schmidt. 0 for 1 with a walk. He did come around to score in the first. Ground ball, that's going to stay fair. Third base side, Petazek running through it. First is in time. A very quick 1-2-3 top of the fourth for Isaac Verbruggen. Good job in relief appearance. We'll take a break and come back for the bottom of the fourth inning. Still 4-2 Milwaukee on the Blue Ribbon Media Network. Bottom of the fourth, 4-2 Milwaukee on top. Joel Brunert is still on the mound. Deals a breaking pitch. And that ball is gone. Dawson Schmidt with a home run. Took a minute to figure that one out there, if that was going to go or not. Schneider looked up, it was gone, and it is a 4-3 ball game. The first home run of the season.
Yeah, it didn't look like it had enough to carry up out of here, and the wind is blowing slightly in. So honestly, didn't expect it, and you don't have that big pop of that ball is gone. But out there in right field, just kept tailing back to Schneider, and eventually just carries enough to get over the wall, over the sign, over Margaritas out in right field.
Boone Kurst takes a call strike home. I was so excited my voice cracked in the middle of that happening there.
We're still warming up too.
Called strike one. I was just a touch busy yesterday. Congratulations to all the state track qualifiers yesterday. All the sectional races happened yesterday. I was at West De Pere High Schools. That pitches outside for a ball with the aforementioned Chris Learman and the Bayport crew, the best in the biz, at least for my money they are. And we were on the air. We had a great time yesterday. 4.5 hours yesterday. It was a lot of fun with a lot of legendary coaches. You had Coach Jameson from Bayport for a long time. He was there for over 30 years. Count goes full to 3-2. He had Chris walking around with a field camera, getting all the events. It was a lot of fun. So
That is super awesome.
Thank you to everybody at Bayport and West Tipier for making that happen. That pitch just misses, ball 4.
Kirst walked for the second time today, and super patient in his approach is what I've noticed so far in those first 2 at-bats. And then going back to the scrimmage as well, Kirst just does a good job of getting himself on base, and that's what you need in these types of situations.
Still no one out, man, on first. James Bornick, the batter. He's 1 for 1 with a double today. And he lifts this one high into right field. Playable. Schneider, near the line, makes the catch.
Got under it. If he would have gotten that at a much better launch angle, that ball may not have come down.
Only the first out of the inning. Braden Steinbecker stepping into the batter's box. RBI sac fly back in the second inning.
Up until the home run, it was a couple of sac flies that had scored runs here for the Ribbons. So it's like we're talking about situational baseball, doing what they have to do in order to score runs, which is really good to see from a team early on. Sometimes they can try to do too much and try to put a ball in play or, single, double, whatever it is, instead of just going with whatever pitch they're given and doing just enough to score runs.
Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Kirst at first. Here's the 1-1. Called strike 2. And the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Schmidt steps on the bag for 1. Throw to first is in time to end the inning. But Dawson Schmidt goes yard. The first home run of the season for Green Bay. They keep chipping away at this lead. It's 4-3 Beavers after 4 on the Blue Ribbons Media Network. We got a good one on our hands as we go to inning number 5. Joel Brunert, the batter. It takes a called strike one from Isaac Verbruggen, who had a very quick 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. Looking to do the same here in the 5th. Big swing and a miss. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball foul off to the third base side. Verbruggen from Carroll University. Right-hander on the mound deals. Ground ball will be taken by Steinbecker at short. Gobbles it up, and in plenty of time to get Brunert for out number 1.
Verbruggen retiring the first 4 batters that he's seen in a Blue Ribbons jersey this year. And sophomore year at Carroll at a 5.40 ERA in 5 appearances, so didn't get a lot of work, but cut it down from a 10.24 his freshman year, so moving in the right direction. A Nina kid.
Justin Barkhorst is the batter. He's reached on an error and struck out so far today. Swings and misses at that pitch.
Very noticeable that Verbruggen has a tall frame. So lots of velo come from behind him, getting downhill, and that ball can jump up on you as a batter.
Here's a 1-1, and that hit him. Another hit by pitch dealt by a Blue Ribbon pitcher. How difficult is that when you have a tall pitcher on the mound that you're trying to face?
I think it just allows them, especially, coming from a softball perspective, you have like Carolyn Pickens, and she's incredibly tall, so your leverage point coming off the mound is a lot closer, and it just feels like they're jumping up on you. The delivery point in baseball is different when you have different heights and different arm slots and things like that, so I think it's just the adjustment period of understanding where the baseball is coming from. And Verbruggen does a good job of getting himself down on the mound and coming from a delivery that's kind of behind him, so you're not seeing it straight out of his hands right away.
TJ Tarnowski, the catcher in the batter's box. 1 on, 1 down in the 5th. That pitch low and outside for a ball. 2-0 the count. And here's a 2-0. Inside ball 3. Take it all the way here?
Oh, 100%. 100%. That's my opinion. Obviously, I know there's different guys that have the green light, and somebody might want to go after it, but I think for sure in this situation you take all the way.
Inside for strike 1. Now, when you get to, everyone talks about what do you do in a full count. When it's a 3-1 count and you're the batter, what are you thinking in your mind here? You still trying to make him throw a strike?
Yeah, I'm looking for my pitch. I want to go after the pitch that I want, so you're making him throw a strike and try to just splice one and do exactly what TJ just did, drop one over the head.
That's a looper behind Bornick at first. It'll be a base hit for Tarnowski. There are now 2 on. A 1-out single that moves Barkhorst to second, and that'll bring up Jelani Hoodnall. He's got some nice flow coming out the back of his helmet, does Hoodnall. He's got some curls going.
Yeah, I love it. And Verbruggen had been dealing 4 straight, and now coming to a point, hit a batter, just had a little looper there from TJ, and now wants Fitzgerald to come out and talk to him. A little bit of miscommunication happening.
So after a brief mound visit, back to work here is Verbruggen. This one lifted into right. Schmidt going back. That ball is gone for a home run. Jelani Hoodnall, a 3-run blast. And that makes it 7-3.
Not really what you want to do if you're the Blue Ribbons in a situation where this game's only going to 7 innings, and that's a big blow after you come into it and start making, chipping away, doing all the right things, and then drop a couple of, a big 3-run home run. It's different if it's a solo shot, right? But when you drop a 3-run home run, it just feels like that's a big momentum breaker for you.
So the base is empty now. Jerome Polwick is in the batter's box, takes a called strike. Milwaukee got off to the 3-0 lead after the top half of the first and have led the whole way. That one fouled off to the third base side, and a big blow there from Hoodnall.
Yeah, it's 325 down the lines in right and left field, 385 to center field. So not necessarily the most surprising that those baseballs are getting out. A little bit of a shorter porch out in right field, but just to go opposite with it, stay all the way on the line and go make those plays is huge.
Bornick could not make the catch in foul territory, just out of his reach, so still 0-2.
I think maybe if he takes a deeper angle on that, he has a better play at that baseball, but I also think he thought it was just going to loop up and kind of die out instead of staying on a line.
Another 0-2 pitch is in the dirt for ball one. Here's a 1-2. This one popped up into right. This one playable for Schmidt, and he makes the catch. So Polwick is retired. There are 2 down, and that'll bring up Derek Hall. Hall's also got a little flow coming out the back of his helmet. Not as many curls as Hoodnall had. Red and black bat. That one fouled right back into the netting. The 0-1 is down low for a ball. The 1-1 from Verbruggen is another hit batter. So Hall will take his base. That's the first time he's been on base today. 2 groundouts before that plate appearance. The lineup turns over, and Zach Schreider will be back on the back. And it looks like we may have another mound visit, potentially a pitching change here for Green Bay. It looks like that's Isaac Pullman, the lefty, coming in for Tanner Alstein. So while they do that, we'll step aside for a moment on the Green Bay Blue Ribbons Media Network. The new left-hander on the mound for Green Bay is Evan Chichanovsky, number 38. So I previously thought it was number 28, but Chichanovsky is a lefty from UW Superior. This is that one for a ball. You got any nuggets on Chichanovsky over there?
Yeah, Bayport kid, played at Bayport, graduate there, and this last season was Superior, a 6.10 ERA and 6 appearances, 10 innings pitch, and struck out 7 across 10 innings. So, gonna command the strike zone and gonna put balls in the strike zone, make guys put a ball in play.
He's facing Zach Schneider, the leadoff batter for Milwaukee. Pitches a strike, count even at 2-2. Just trying to get out of this inning without any further damage done is the main mission right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Ribbons had put a couple of runs on the board, and then you come up there and get a big bomb hit off you, Hundal, and commanding it, shutting it down, coming in here for Chichanovsky. That's exactly the job that you want to go do.
A strikeout from Chichanovsky ends the inning, but a 3-run home run from Jelani Hudnall is the damage done. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's now Milwaukee 7, Green Bay 3 on the Green Bay Blue Ribbons Media Network. We welcome you back. Joel Brunert is still on the mound for the Beavers. Tyler Fitzgerald will lead off the Blue Ribbons half of the 5th inning as they trail by 4 runs to their counterparts from Milwaukee. Only the 2nd plate appearance for Fitzgerald this afternoon. Takes his call at strike 1. He struck out his first time. That was back in the 2nd. This one poked into left, shallow left, and the shortstop Schmidt makes the catch. That's out number 1. Fitzgerald is retired, and that'll bring up Easton Arndt. Arndt wearing number 9. What's your softball number that you wear, Sam?
27.
27. Anyone inspiring that 27?
Actually, not really. 20. I had the option when I got to Lakeland, 27 or 30. I wore 27 in high school because I was a little bit too big to fit into the number 3 jersey. three is a smaller, like an extra small, so it wasn't going to work out.
That one popped into center, and Walta makes the catch for out number 2.
It loses the ball cap. Yeah, number 3 is the number that I follow. My older cousin, she was a catcher. She's really the reason I got into catching. Played high school ball when I was a young kid, and took her catcher's glove when she was done, and have caught ever since. So she's really the reason that I have committed my life to softball. And number 3, I would wear number 3 if I could. So 27 I did in high school because it was 3 cubed, and then my first year of college, I wore 9, and now at Lakeland, I wore 27 again.
Jake Petizek wears number 3, left-handed batter. Takes inside for a ball, 2-1 the count. Jake so far has walked and then laid down a sacrifice bunt as he takes called strike 2.
Has seemed not afraid to put down the sacks, whether it's bunting, putting fly balls out in the outfield, whatever it is, just helping the team win. I like that so far from what you're seeing from the Blue Ribbons.
Two down, no one on. Outside for a ball. Count runs full now, 3-2. Not choking up too high on the bat. Payoff pitch, this one lifted into right. Coming in just a couple of steps is the right fielder Schneider to make the catch and end the inning. A very quick 1-2-3 inning for Green Bay. We go to the 6th. It's Milwaukee 7 and Green Bay 3 on the Blue Ribbons Media Network. Top of inning number 6 will be led off by Carlos Walta. Grounds that one to the shortstop Steinbecker. Fired across to first in time for a quick out number 1. Chichanovsky now pitching for Green Bay. We saw 3 innings out of the starter, Benji Henke, and then Isaac Verbruggen came in for 1 2/3 innings. Pitches upstairs for a ball. Chichanovsky, the first left-hander that we've seen for Green Bay. That's a strike. And the 1-1 pitch. An off-speed pitch on the outside corner for a strike. And here's the 1-2. Upstairs for ball 2. Just looking down the right field line. Most of the fans have stayed for the entirety of this game. Be interesting to see how many are sticking around for game 2, which will commence a bit later this evening. That one fouled back out of play.
Yeah, and unless the fans on the left field line are a little overflow of Blue Ribbons, we got some Beaver fans coming up here making the drive later on in this one, staying probably for game 2. I can imagine if you're coming from Milwaukee up to Green Bay to spend the day at the ballpark.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Brady Schmidt goes down swinging. That's out number 2. And that will bring up Joel Bernard. Bernard has had an eventful day at the plate. He singled to drive in a run back in the first. He was hit by a pitch. He's also worked the entire game on the mound for Milwaukee today. Lines that one out of play.
It'd be interesting to see if he goes all of game one. I don't know what the pitching depth looks like for the Beavers, really, in terms of the 12 guys they have here. I can imagine there's, a couple more arms, but it'd be interesting to see what he does.
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not.
Looked like he might have from up here, but obviously we have a bad angle, and I think the way that Chichinowski's dazzling around the mound, that might be a little indication of he thought he went as well.
Fastball for strike two. What would be on your mind for a 2-2 pitch here, Sam?
I think you're coming up and in one more time. See what he does. Try to spoil one in on his hands and get him to pull off that half swing again.
Goes upstairs. Count runs full at 3-2. Don't want to give any free bases. That one ripped down the line and foul.
Get the ball boy for the Blue Ribbons coming out here. Dishing off a handful of baseballs.
Another 3-2. This one popped up. It's playable for someone to call it. And the right fielder, Schmidt, will make the catch for a 1-2-3, top of the sixth. The Ribbons need runs. They trail at 7-3. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning on the Blue Ribbons Media Network. Let's see if Green Bay can rally. They trail by 4. Joel Brunert is still on the mound for the Beavers. Braden Plow will lead things off for the Blue Ribbons. Plow so far today 0 for 1 with a sac fly RBI. Takes a breaking pitch for a called strike one.
Obviously, at this point, you just need base runners and get guys on. But Plow also a kid that can slash quite a few doubles, and wouldn't be surprised even in that situation. Put one down the line and get him on into scoring position and try to cut this lead just a little bit.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Plow goes down swinging. There's one down, and that'll bring up Eason Hurd. Looking to reach for the first time. 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch is hit into left field, and the left fielder Hall will make the catch. One pitch needed to retire Hurd. That's a quick out number 2, and that'll bring up Dawson Schmidt. feels like there's been some good contact today and just not a lot of balls finding grass for Green Bay.
Yeah, absolutely, and it goes both ways too. I think the Blue Ribbons, excuse me, have given the Beavers opportunities with those errors early on and just a couple of miscues, but there really hasn't been too many hits other than the couple of good balls over in right field over the fence. But other than that, there hasn't been too much hard contact.
Dawson Schmidt pokes one into right. That's a base hit. See if that begins a 2-out rally as Schmidt has reached safely for the second time today, and that'll bring up Boone Kirst.
Kirst, a patient hitter, so can see a good at-bat coming here. He's about as smart as it gets in terms of knowing what he wants and going after his pitch.
That one poked foul off to the right side. Kirst has 2 walks today. Swings and fouls that one to the backstop. 0-2 pitch, man on first. What would your approach be if you're Kirst here, Sam?
I think you're trying to just go with the pitch. A lot of what Greener has been giving them has been to right field. So if you're Kirst, trying to just go with it, put something into right field, right center field, and just advance the runner. You're not trying to do too much. You're not trying to hit a home run, and if it comes, it does. But just trying to go with it, being patient.
Takes upstairs for a ball. Beavers holding Schmidt over at first.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he goes in motion.
He is. He goes down to second, swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. No runs for Green Bay. They're going to have to try to hold them. We go to the 7th inning of Game 1 of this doubleheader. It's Milwaukee 7 and Green Bay 3 on the Blue Ribbons Media Network. Top of inning number 7, Justin Barkhorst will lead it off for the Beavers. He faces Chichanovsky for the first time. As a pitch was upstairs for a ball. Chichanovsky working quickly. Misses for ball 2. If you're a pitcher, do you think that working quickly or maybe taking a little bit more time in between pitches is a good approach?
I think there's a happy medium in there. I don't like when pitchers work too fast, but if it's your routine, it's your routine. As a catcher, I like having a rhythm too, and finding one that works with your pitcher I think is crucial. And you'll see a lot of different paces, but I think taking too long in between pitches is not the most advantageous. But at the same time, if you're working really fast and we have a pitcher who get herself caught up and sped up too fast. So just, finding a rhythm and sticking with what works for you.
4 straight balls dealt to Barkhorst to draw a leadoff walk, and that brings up TJ Tarnowski. Swing and a miss at strike 2. Tarnowski singled his last time up and came around to score. He also did reach back into third, but it was on a fielder's choice. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Down low for a ball. Chichanowski came in relief in the 5th inning and has been on the mound since, looking to keep the deficit where it is. It sits at 4. It is a 7-3 ball game in game 1 of this doubleheader. Doubleheader games only go 7 innings, so it's do or die time for Green Bay. That one way outside for ball 3. Count goes to 3-2. And we're going to have the ball replaced. That's why Chichanowski and Fitzgerald played catch for a moment.
Blue Ribbons have given up too many free passes along with the errors. They have, 7, 3 hit by pitches, 4 walks, and then also 3 errors. Have allowed just 5 hits. So in terms of the pitching staff, you're like, well, they're not really getting lit up, but the walks, the free passes, as you see another one there, that is what's hurt them so far in this first outing.
Back-to-back walks dealt by Chichanowski to put runners at first and second, and the batter will be Jelani Hoodnall, and this is a dangerous number 7 batter. He went deep his last time up for a 3-run home run that may have put this game out of reach. We won't call it quite yet. It's only 4, but some work to be done when the offense goes back to work. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss.
Yeah, first order of business is just Chichanowski coming out here and going right at Hoodnall. Not being afraid, not pitching scared, just, not trying to not give up the big home run, because in those situations, most time you do.
Hoodnall looks at ball 2, 2-1 the count. No one out here in the top of the 7th. Here's the 2-1. Breaking pitch for a called strike 2. And this is a big spot here if you're Chichanowski, can get Hoodnall out and just get the first out of the inning. The runner is bluff. Ball taken upstairs, ball 3.
And I don't think anybody's really loose out in that Blue Ribbons bullpen, so Coach Alstein going to go the distance and trust Chichanowski here in this situation.
Fly ball to right, and it's over the head of Schmidt. Another extra base hit for Hoodnall. He decides to hold at first. A run comes in to score. Here comes the second. Check that. Just 1 run came in to score on the hard hit RBI single for Jelani Hoodnall. So he's got himself 4 RBIs on the day. Next batter is Jerome Palyuk, who reached safely back in the 3rd inning with an RBI single.
Yeah, Hoodnall over at first has really put the Beavers in a position to win this first game of the year, and given them just a ton of opportunities as he's driven in 4 runs. Obviously, you're doing what you can to make your team successful, but has gone opposite field with it a couple of times and almost had himself a second home run.
The 1-1 pitch is taken low for a ball. Runners at the corner, still nobody out, top of the 7th. Ground ball, third base side, diving stop by Patazik. Throw to second is not in time. The throw took Hurd off the bag. Another run will come in to score, and that makes it 9-3.
Really, the only play that Potasic had is he had to lay out for that one, try to keep it in the infield, and does a good job. But the speed of Hudnall gets over there at second and forces her into a tough position, having to come off the base to save that baseball.
Pitch to Hall for a strike. Breaking pitch is in for a called strike 2. So runners on first and second for Derek Hall. Was hit by a pitch his last time up. Lines that one right back up the middle. That's a tough play for Steinbecker. Fires to first in time to get Hall. Runners will advance to second and third. There's one away. And the batter will be Zach Schneider. Schneider reached on an error in the second. Takes called strike 1. He struck out twice and hit a high fly ball to center. He's got a 1-1 count with one down, 2 runners on. Lifts that one into right. We'll see if it's deep enough for a run to come in and score. Schmidt makes the catch. Hudnall's going to come home. Throw to third is not in time. It's an RBI sac fly for Zach Schneider. That makes it 10-3. 2 down in the 7th. Carlos Walta will be the batter. 1 for 3 with a walk. Inside for a ball. Dealt by Chichanowski. That's ball 2 dealt inside. There is some action in the Blue Ribbon bullpen. We'll try to identify that in just a minute as Walta fouls one back. Looks like that's number 4, Ian Aoki, warming up down there. The E.W. Stevens point product. Chichanowski deals inside for ball 3. And here's the 3-1. Ground ball. It'll be taken by Hurd. Flip to first, and that ends the inning. But it's another big inning for Milwaukee as 3 more runs come in to score. A lot of work to do for Green Bay. We'll see if they can do it when we come back on the Blue Ribbons Media Network. A lot of work to do for the Blue Ribbons in the final frame of Game 1 of this doubleheader. Don D'Angelo, Sam Marchand have been with you all afternoon. It is 10-3 Milwaukee. James Bornick will try to start a big rally for Green Bay. He takes upstairs for a ball. The Blue Ribbons have used 3 pitchers in this game. Joel Bernert, the starter for Milwaukee, has been on the mound since first pitch. That's a nice piece of hitting from Bornick. A leadoff single to get us started in the 7th. Bornick reaches safely. Braden Steinbecker will step into the batter's box. 0 for 1 with a sac fly in the game today. Takes a breaking pitch upstairs for a ball.
It's interesting to see how much Greenert has left in the tank. Obviously, it's the first game of the season. You don't know how much he's been throwing. So seeing how much that arm can handle, and if he starts to kind of lose it a little bit and allow opportunity here for the Blue Ribbons to come back into this one.
The 2-0 pitch is down low and inside for a ball. 3-0 the count to Braden Steinbecker. This is important for some of these guys at the bottom of the order to get on, because then you turn the lineup over and then some real damage you would think has a real chance of ensuing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Three-one count. Pitch from Bernert is in for a strike. Steinbecker thought that it was inside for ball 4. Count goes to 3-2.
I think if Steinbecker maybe walks and takes a couple of steps instead of freezing, hesitating, taking a look at that pitch, I think it makes you as an umpire, question your decision a little bit and put yourself in a bad spot. But a couple of base runners on here. Just need to keep it going here for Fitzgerald.
Tyler Fitzgerald 0 for 2 in the game today. He is playing for the Blue Ribbons for the first time as the catcher in the game. This would be a big spot for him and just be a really cool memory for him, getting a chance to play in a game like this and coming up in a big spot.
Yeah, and his last at-bat looked a lot more competitive than his first one, so he's moving in the right direction and put a ball into shallow left field. All you need to do is see good pitches and give yourself a chance to get walked and put a ball in play here.
First pitch dealt to him is a called strike 1. Just looking around, there are pretty big gaps in left and right center for Fitzgerald to potentially get a hold of one. Pokes this one into right center. Coming in are a trio of defenders, and a nice catch is made by Schneider. Runners will have to retreat. That's out number 1.
That one, especially over in right field, he's playing pretty far to the right field line and has been all day. Honestly, just knowing your speed and knowing your abilities is what that does.
Easton Arndt will be the batter. He's reached safely twice. He was hit by a pitch in the first, and he doubled and came around to score in the 3rd inning. Takes a big breaking pitch from Brunert for ball 1. The next offering is fouled away. Arndt, the lefty from Winona State. We might see him pitch a few times this year. He's got that capability. Looking to get on and potentially do some damage.
Yeah, he tossed 10 and 2/3 innings for Winona State in 7 appearances this year.
Fouls another one back out of play. 1-2 the count.
Going back to Fitzgerald, he's actually teammates with Chichanovsky. Both over at UW Superior.
Bruner's taking a long pause before this pitch. The 1-2 is outside for a ball. 10-3 is the score. Milwaukee has scored 3 runs in the first, 5th, and 7th innings, and the last one was an RBI single from Jerome Pawak back in the 3rd to get them their 3. Green Bay pretty consistently through the beginning few innings, scoring a run in each of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's a high fly ball into right. It's playable. Schneider will have it for out number 2. So Arndt is retired, and the last batter potentially is Jake Petizak. Petizak has walked. He laid down a bunt to move the runner back in the 3rd, and he also hit a high fly ball to right. He's the last man standing in the ball game for Green Bay unless he can get on base.
We've seen a lot crazier things happen in these situations.
This
guy's one
popped up near foul territory, and fittingly the pitcher Bruner will make the catch, and that ends the ball game. Bruner goes the full 7 innings in game 1 of the doubleheader, and the Beavers win it by a score of 10-3. We will take a break and come back with some final thoughts on the Blue Ribbon Media Network. Game 1 of this opening day doubleheader goes to Milwaukee. The final score is 10-3. They win it over Green Bay in a game that lasted just under 2 hours on the east side of Green Bay from Joannes Park. Sam, some final thoughts.
I think it just comes down to giving the Beavers opportunities. Obviously, the Ribbons, they were there consistently getting runners on, getting base hits, all that they needed. But when you give a team, you make 3 errors in the game and then give them 8 free passes to first base, I think it's really difficult to come out on the winning end of that.
We will take a little bit of a break, and then we'll get set for game 2. I'll see you then.
Sounds good.
Thanks to Sam Marchand for all of her tremendous insight. Thanks to team presidents Ken and Jen Leo here at the Blue Ribbons. Once again, for the voice of the Muskies, Sam Marchand, Dom D'Angelo saying thank you for watching and goodbye from beautiful and historic Joannes Park in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Again, the final, the Milwaukee Beavers 10 and the Green Bay Blue Ribbons 3. This has been a presentation of Green Bay Blue Ribbons Baseball.